Arthur is an ordinary boy, seemingly living a normal life, but in his past life he was Grey Rose, the evil king who ruled the world with his power and destroyed nations with bombs after conquering them. No one could stand against him, and those who tried were mercilessly wiped off the planet. However, even with all the power in the world, he felt unsatisfied with his life because he was all alone. One day, he unexpectedly found himself sinking in an endless ocean. A voice urged him to look for the light in his next life. The king came to the realization that he had just passed away. In the blink of an eye, he awoke in a dim room with two strangers hovering over him. They called him Arthur and kept saying how much he looked like their son. Even though he had no clue who they were or where he was, he soon understood that he had been reborn, retaining all the memories and knowledge from his previous life. The once great king, now just a regular baby, felt incredibly awkward in his new life as Arthur. He struggled to control his body and acted like a little kid. One day, Arthur watched his father use magic to enhance his strength, allowing him to plow the fields with a single punch, and then saw his mother heal him after he got hurt. That is the first thing that makes him curious, and he realizes that this world is not Earth, as it is filled with magic. Soon, Arthur discovers that his dad is an adventurer who frequently goes out to hunt monsters with his friends. He understands that since everyone in this world can carry weapons, it must be a pretty dangerous place. So he decides he needs to get strong quickly to defend himself. Unfortunately, that day is still a long way off because right now, he's just a baby who falls asleep whenever his mom sings. However, he soon gets over his frustration and starts to appreciate these calm moments, especially since in his previous life, he was always at risk of being attacked by assassins while he slept. After a few months, Arthur finally starts crawling around the house. He pretends to be asleep so his mom will leave him alone, then sneaks into the library to look for information about this world. He finds that the continent he lives on has a dwarf country to the south and an elf country to the north. The human kingdom is ruled by a king, but unlike his previous life, the king's son automatically becomes the new king here, without any deadly battles for the throne. Arthur then finds another book about magic and realizes that magic is why this world is so behind in science and technology. He learns that only about 1% of the population can use magic, and a person's magical ability often depends on their parents' abilities. The book explains that there are two main types of magic users: augmenters, who use mana to boost their physical strength and fight like warriors, and conjurers, who can project mana outside their bodies like wizards. Arthur discovers that his dad is an augment, but he believes his mom isn't a regular conjurer due to her healing abilities. He decides to push those thoughts aside and keeps reading about how to become a magic user. The book explains that to use magic, one must have a magic core, which is created by concentrating mana within the body to a single point. Most people can only achieve this during puberty, and it often takes years to develop a strong and effective mana core. However, Arthur remembers a similar idea from his past life, where he could control his body's internal energy called Kai, and creating a Kai core was much like forming a mana core. He starts to concentrate his mana, hoping to take the first step toward becoming powerful in this new world. Just as he is about to create his mana core, his mom finds him and brings him back to bed. 2 years go by quickly, and one day, while Arthur's mom is busy writing in her diary about him, he steps outside to practice sword fighting with his dad. As he swings a wooden stick like a sword, his mom comes out and gets really mad at his dad for teaching their son to use a sword when he just learned to walk. Arthur has figured out that his mom is the one in charge at home. She also takes him to the nearby city sometimes, and Arthur loves it because he gets to learn so much about the world. He's curious about everything, from weapons to weird items he finds. But what fascinates him the most is magic, and being in the city gives him the best chance to see it up close. Arthur enjoys a calm life with his parents, and even though he feels weird being stuck in a baby's body, he starts to appreciate the peaceful life. His parents take care of everything he needs, which reminds him of his childhood at the orphanage in his past life, where he wished for a family, but his dreams never came true. One day, Arthur catches his dad trying to practice magic to boost his mana core. He feels super excited to watch and learn, but his dad can only lift a few stones off the ground with his mana. Arthur isn't really impressed since he thinks it would be quicker to just pick them up by hand. Then, his mom comes over and tells him that his dad isn't at his best yet. After that, his dad focuses his energy again to show off for his wife and unleashes a bunch of powerful attacks that shake the ground. This time, Arthur is really impressed by his dad's abilities. His mom believes that when Arthur grows up, he will also become a strong warrior. Arthur is eager to give it a try right away, but his mom decides it's time for him to take a nap. As they pass by the library, Arthur begs his mom to let him read some books. She firmly says no, but he gives her an innocent, pleading look that she just can't say no to. In the end, she decides to leave him with the books while she steps outside to join his dad. Arthur then concentrates all the mana in his body to create his mana core, something he's been working on for 2 years. He feels like he's really close to succeeding, and suddenly, his mana core forms inside him. This causes a huge explosion that destroys the house, and Arthur's dad gets hurt while trying to shield his wife. They both freak out, worried that their son might be in trouble. But when they go inside, they can't believe their eyes when they see Arthur floating in the sky with a golden glow. He gets on the ground and starts walking towards them, when suddenly the rubble from the roof falls towards him. He panics, fearing that this is going to be the end of his life, but both his parents lunge towards him to keep him safe. Arthur realizes only after this that his parents have the duty to keep him safe, but when they start crying, he gets confused. In his previous life, he never experienced anything like this, and even the parents of other kids never showed any emotions other than pride or disappointment. As he wonders what this new feeling is, Arthur starts crying too instinctively, clinging onto his mother. A few years later, Arthur has grown into a young boy eager to learn combat skills from his father. They stand in the garden, facing each other, as his dad offers him his treasured gloves. However, Arthur rejects it. He knows he isn't strong enough to use them yet. Instead, he grabs a wooden sword and his father does the same. Arthur quickly charges at his dad, attempting to land 3 hits, but his father easily blocks every strike with his greater strength. Realizing his dad is using magic to enhance his stick, Arthur decides to channel his own mana into his wooden sword. He charges at his dad again, and this time, his dad is surprised when Arthur's attack breaks his stick in 2. Arthur beams with pride, boasting that his wood is superior to his father's. Despite everything, his dad understands that Arthur is exceptionally talented, so he decides to have a serious talk with his wife about sending Arthur away to get a real tutor. His mom, Alice, is totally against it because she doesn't want to lose her son, especially since he's only 4 years old. Reynold argues that at just 4, Arthur's potential is way stronger than his own, which means he should be trained by a skilled warrior. But before they can make a choice, Arthur jumps in, suggesting that they should all go together. Even though it seems like a silly idea, both parents quickly agree, probably because the housing crisis hasn't really hit their world yet. A couple days later, Alice and Reynolds' previous members arrive to travel with them, and Arthur introduces himself to all of them. His parents' old party consisted of Adam the leader, Angela the big jugged woman, Durd the average-looking man, Helen the archer, and Jasmine the manic pixie girl. They soon decided to move on, and Arthur realized that this world relied on pretty basic transportation compared to his own, where they had air hubers to get around. After a while, they took a break to eat, but things took a turn when a pack of wolf monsters showed up, attracted by the food. Jasmine quickly jumped into action, grabbing 2 daggers and fighting off any wolves that approached her, while Reynold, Adam, and Helen took down more wolves with their weapons. Meanwhile, Durd and Angela used their magic to wipe out the rest of the beasts. That night, they celebrated by feasting on the monsters they had defeated. After a while, Alice sees that Reynold is still bleeding from his arm and chooses to help him heal. The other party members quickly get up and form a protective circle around them, which confuses Arthur. However, he soon learns that Alice is a unique mage with rare healing magic. Because this magic is so uncommon, Alice is often in danger of being captured, which is one reason they relocated to the countryside. Fortunately, the healing magic works perfectly. Afterward, Adam decides he wants to get some exercise and asks Arthur to train with him. Arthur agrees to the training and they prepare for the sparring session by charging their weapons with mana. To Adam's surprise, Arthur makes the first move, using magic to boost his speed. He dashes towards Adam like lightning, vanishing and reappearing behind him, catching Adam off guard. Unfortunately, Arthur slips, giving Adam a chance to react, and they soon find themselves in a fierce battle. Everyone is amazed by Arthur's quickness, but at the last moment, he gets thrown into the air due to his light weight. Angela has to use her wind magic to catch him, allowing him to land softly on the ground. Meanwhile, the rest of the team scolds Adam for being too rough with someone so small. Adam tries to defend himself, saying the boy is really strong, but no one pays attention. Jasmine, however, is fascinated by Arthur's abilities and starts asking him about the techniques he's using. The next few days pass by fast as Arthur trains, eats, sleeps, and trains again with almost everyone in the group. He learns Lance's techniques from Adam, does push-ups with Reynold, practices archery with Helen, and runs with Jasmine, who seems to really like the little guy. Soon, they continue their journey in the carts. Suddenly, a bunch of arrows come flying at them, and Arthur quickly realizes they are being attacked by bandits. Dird and Adam leap in front of the carts while Angela uses her wind magic to blow away the arrows. Arthur peeks outside and sees that they are completely surrounded by bandits on all sides. The bandit leader tells his crew not to harm Alice and Arthur, but to take out everyone else because they can be sold for a good price. The bandits cheer and rush into the fight, but they start getting taken down by Reynold and his team, one after another. Each member of the party is stronger individually, but they face a challenge as the bandits try to overwhelm them with their numbers. The constant fighting wears the party out, while the bandit leader challenges Reynolds to a one-on-one and slams him against the cart. Alice rushes to assist Reynolds, but he warns her against using her magic, saying it would only complicate things further. He stands up and instructs Arthur to take his mother to safety while he confronts the bandit leader. Arthur, eager to fight, insists he can take on the thugs, but his father yells at him to use his strength to protect his mother, who is pregnant. Arthur is confused about when that happened, but ultimately decides to run with Alice. Meanwhile, the bandit leader tries to go after them, but Reynolds attacks him again, forcing him to defend himself. Arthur keeps running, but soon encounters a group of enemies blocking his path. Luckily, his teammates are skilled fighters and take down the bandits one by one. Arthur expresses his gratitude and resumes his sprint, but suddenly they are ambushed by a mage who unleashes a powerful wind spell. Arthur decides to protect his mother, taking the full force of the attack himself, which sends him flying into the air and over the edge of a cliff. He makes up his mind that he won't die alone and throws his knife attached to a rope at his attacker, taking him down too. Both Dird and Angela quickly use their magic to try to save Arthur, while his mother cries out his name with tears in her eyes. Despite everything, Arthur feels a sense of peace, as if he has accomplished something. He starts to wonder if this is what happiness feels like, when suddenly tears fill his eyes, as he realizes he is about to become a big brother. But now that life has been taken from him. If you enjoyed this video, think about subscribing and check out the next video.